welcome to Movie Review Mom. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is Captive State. Global invasion, rebellion, alien forces are the new legislators. Twists. Sounds intriguing and exciting, right? Well, not so much. Unfortunately, this film is a little confusing, very messy, and even boring. It did not hold me captive. Written and directed by Rupert Wyatt, this film is not a big alien action blockbuster, but instead more of a political espionage thriller that analyzes humans who rebel against their alien captors versus other humans who've grown to get along with the aliens after about 10 years of captivity. Some people say that this is the thinking man's movie, but I'm a thinking woman, and it bored me, and the premise was really great, but it just didn't get there. A thinking man's alien movie that I think is so much better is the movie Arrival. First, let me give you some quick tips, and then I'll tell you the grade that I gave this movie. First of all, there's quite a bit of reading at the very beginning of the movie with things on computers and stuff that you have to read to find out what's happening in the news. So young children won't know what's going on, but to be honest, they're going to be really bored with this movie anyway. I don't think it's going to hold their attention, and it's definitely going to confuse them. There's some profanity. There's a teenager who carries around a joint behind his ear. There's some blood. There's certainly some violence. And you do get to see the aliens. They're not super scary, so I don't think, well, parts of them are, but they're not super scary. One of them is sort of like, just looks like a big robot, so that's kind of cool. And the other one's got these like suction cup things coming at them. But honestly, I just don't think your kids are going to be able to withstand all of the boring parts. And there are many of them where there's talking and then there's jumping from thing to thing that, especially for the first hour, you don't quite understand what's going on because you're following several different characters and you're waiting for all these puzzle pieces to connect. And it seems like they don't pretty much until the very, very end. And I just don't think kids and a lot of audiences are going to tolerate it. In fact, I've read a lot of reviews from people who walked out because they kept thinking the film was going to get better. And honestly, an audience will not wait an hour. I mean, it was literally a full hour before things started to kind of piece together, and that's just way too long. Some of the things I did like are that the subject matter and the premise are very interesting, and they could have made for a really great movie. I do like Rupert Wyatt. He did Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I really liked, but this movie does not feel anything like that one. And not that it has to, but even the style, there's some shaky cam, everything is very gray. I don't know, but really what it is that there's just a variety of hold on, I'm telling you the things I like. Hold on. I like Vera Farmiga. So I was disappointed that she was only on screen for a few minutes. Knowing that she and John Goodman were in the movie were kind of what made me think, oh, well, this is probably a good movie because I like both of them. John Goodman is solid, but he spends quite a few scenes in this movie staring at various computer monitors. Not like high action, where he's just like watching to see what's happening. Ashton Sanders did a good job, and actually I thought he was really believable. But so the things that I didn't like, first of all, I mentioned it takes a really long time to get interested in the characters and even what's happening to them. Even by the end, you're kind of like, meh, you don't really care what happens to them. The cinematography is messy, and part of that is because I don't like shaky cam. But it wasn't just that. Some of the editing and it just didn't flow. Nothing seemed really clever to me. And I know I've read reviews of people who thought it was so clever, and maybe it's beyond me, but I didn't think it was clever filmography at all. Machine Gun Kelly actually got a chest injury from being punched by another character. He kind of comes off just like a jerk, really, in my opinion, but that's cool that he was in the movie, I guess. There's some overacting. He was one of them, but there were some other actors that just just kind of went a little too far and just made the whole thing just seem more ridiculous than believable, I guess. The aliens' motivations are unclear. I mean, they've been there for almost 10 years and you're not still sure what they're doing there. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird. And their alien spaceship thing, I just thought looked really amateurish. Whatever. So there's no main character in the movie. We don't see any one character who grows, and that's part of why it feels hard to feel invested in anyone. If there were one character, it would be John Goodman's character. He's sort of the common thread, but I don't know that there's a big character arc for him either. You do get to see some aliens, as I mentioned, but they're either fuzzy or a little CGI-ish. Whatever. I keep saying whatever. I guess I was just kind of like, I couldn't wait for this movie to end, to be honest, which is really sad because I love watching movies. During the stadium scene, there's this lady and she's supposed to be singing a patriotic song. She doesn't sing the Star Spangled Banner, but instead sings the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And I asked myself, why? Am I supposed to think that the aliens changed the national anthem? Or maybe the most realistic reason is that people are supposed to stand and put their hands over their hearts when they hear the national anthem. And so maybe the director didn't want the audience kind of looking around like, are we supposed to be standing? And whatever. Why do I care? Probably because that was one of the only scenes where there was color and it felt real. Everything else felt like it was very gray and dingy, which is fine. That's a choice. But then to add in this very colorful scene, the whole scene didn't match with the rest of the film. So I just thought that was kind of bizarre. Anyway, and I guess I blinked and I missed it, but I never saw anything that looked like the movie poster, with all the red stuff going on in the background. So I don't even know what that was about. And again, I could have blinked and missed it because so many things were choppy, and so it could have happened. Anyway, the grade that I gave this movie is a D+. And again, I know that there are people that like this movie, but for the most part, I think everybody kind of had the same reaction that I did, kind of looking at your watch or your cell phone and like yawning and wondering when this movie's going to start making sense. It just didn't get me. It didn't captivate me, and I didn't get it, I guess. Anyway, if you enjoyed the movie, tell me about it. Tell me what I missed and why it was awesome. And if you trust me, then you could just skip this movie and move on to other things. Anyway, I hope you're having fun at the movies. Be sure and hit subscribe and ring the bell, and you'll be notified of other upcoming movie reviews that I do. And by the way, check out this green screen. I'm trying new things. This is a new channel, so I really appreciate it when you follow and subscribe and tell your friends. The goal of this channel is to give you honest reviews from a mom's perspective so that you can make the best choices in choosing movies that are most appropriate for your family. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.